When veil is thinnest on this day, I beckon forth my loved ones here to connect the deeper, if I may, through sorrow and through cheer. Hello, my friends, and welcome to this distance Reiki session for connecting with those who have passed, summoning spirits, honoring the dead. I really wanted this session to be available to you at some point over the course of this year. And I thought, what better time to conduct this kind of energy work session than on Samhain, the day when our veil between this realm and the other is the thinnest, when it is believed to be the easiest and most supported time for kind of communing with those who have passed. If you're new here, welcome. I don't usually look like this. Happy Halloween if you're watching this on the day that I upload. And happy Samhain. I hope you have a beautiful and responsible celebration this evening. And if you're watching this in the future, then I hope that you can use this to support you as you connect with and honor those who have passed. So I'd like to start by lighting a little bit of sage. So I have a little lighter that I'm going to use instead of matches. And then we'll light a little sage bundle and start by doing a bit of clearing and cleansing. Clearing and cleansing. The reason I say I hope that you are responsible or being responsible today is both for those of you who might be kind of celebrating and might get a little crazy, but also just energetically, from an energetic perspective, just be very mindful of your energy today, because this is a very kind of open time in terms of spirits and things. It's really nice to make sure that if we are engaging in any rituals like this, that we are staying protected and being very intentional about what we're calling in. So this might be a different kind of session for those of you who have watched my channel for a little bit. Thank you. But for this, I think it's nice to engage in different kinds of rituals. And even if you don't engage in a ritual like this, although I'd say most people have some sort of ritual, at least here in this country, on this holiday. But just learning a little bit more about its roots, I know most of you probably already know, can be fun, even just to sort of connect with and honor a celebration and the roots of which have inspired this holiday that we are celebrating. Usually not with much intentionality, which is okay. It's okay to be silly and have fun and all of that. This is to encourage that and also support maybe a little bit of a deeper look within. So I'm just using the smoke to clear and cleanse. Clear and cleanse the energy. We're clearing, cleansing the energy all throughout the space. We want to have a nice, safe, protected space when we call in any any spirits, when we do any kind of connection with the other side sort of work. So, clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing. Clearing and cleansing your energy as well as the energy in the room, as well as my energy here. We want to clear and cleanse. And if there are any spirits who are already here, we're just clearing and cleansing this energy. So we're not inviting anything except love and benevolence into this space. Great. It's a windy day, rainy and windy, gray, dark, with bright, flaming orange and red fiery leaves cast all about. So it feels like everything in nature is supporting this kind of energy work today. Dark, and then fiery reds and oranges. Gorgeous. Drawing the symbols outside of your heart center in the smoke. Do you do anything special for Halloween, for Samhain? I'd love to know if any of you kind of knew about the pagan origins of this holiday. If you connect with this sort of deeper work on this day. And yeah, also thank you so much for those of you who reached out and wished me happy birthday yesterday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was so sweet. I got so many messages from you. It's really nice. So, thank you. Okay, I'm going to light a little bit of incense. We're going to be using our cedar incense to ground us here as well. Gonna draw the symbols again. It smells so good. When we're doing these kinds of rituals, fire and candles, smoke can be very helpful for just kind of purifying the air, purifying the energy around us. And that's incredibly beneficial when we are doing this kind of deeper connection to spirit. This is a holiday of harvest, of bringing in the last of this season's harvest. Hence the pumpkins and the gourds and all of that associated with this time. This is a beautiful time for kind of harvesting any of those seeds that you've been manifesting, those seeds you've been planting throughout the year, throughout the season, maybe even throughout this moon cycle. Great time of harvest, seeing things come to fruition. We have a new moon coming up, and if everything goes as planned, I'm going to be doing a new moon live stream. So if I have set that up, I will try to add that in the description box so you can just click on the link if you'd like to join for a new moon live stream for planting those seeds for our next harvest. So the cedar wood incense is great for grounding. We want to have a little bit of that grounded energy as we go into this kind of work. Grounding and sending this gorgeous energy into the space. Grounding, connecting. Going to move through with a stone now. We're going to start with our selenite wands and do some further clearing. This time, more specifically, we're going to be clearing your energy fields. During these past few years, many souls have crossed over. With the passage of time, this is natural, but this has been more than usual. Many people are now, someone who has crossed over. This pandemic, I think, has really shifted the way that we think about our own mortality. For many, I think. And I think at this time where, like I said, the veil is thinnest, this can be a great time to kind of ruminate on how we feel about that, how we feel about the impermanence of our physical form and this life. And maybe throughout the course of this year or the following season, we can really do our best to connect with how we might conduct ourselves slightly differently with that understanding, with that deeper connection to the temporary nature of this life. This is going to be quite a morbid video. I hope if that's not something you're up for, just know that's going to be what we are covering and how we're engaging with it. So if you're not comfortable with that, I completely understand, and I would highly encourage you to find another one of my sessions. Because this is going to be about death, those who have died, connecting and honoring those. This can be a time to connect with your ancestors. It can be a time to connect with any kind of individual, historical, or even a spirit that you have a connection to in some way. Honoring the, women who were burned at the stake or considered witches, or who identified as witches and who were killed, midwives, any kind of creative women, any healers, or anything like that throughout history have been ostracized, and many of them were killed. And so honoring that maternal energy, the energy of the healer, that archetypal energy that's within us, this is a great time to honor those who have passed, that opened the door for us to step forth and start to gather and collect this knowledge, who passed this healing knowledge on in order for us to then share it, continue to pass it on. That idea, that information is like a hot potato. Anything we learn, don't hold on to it. Pass it on as quickly as you can. And there were many, many very powerful individuals, not just women, but that's the connection that I want to honor today. I want to honor the women that have come before me, but obviously not just women. Many that have opened up the pathway for this kind of that healing, that deep healing. But we really just want to connect in whatever way with the other realm on this beautiful day. At sunset, when the sun has set wherever you are on Halloween, All Hallows Eve, when the sun sets, until the sun sets on All Saints' Day. Then we have this open channel of connection. So how are you going to participate in this? Is there someone in particular, a loved one who has passed, that you would like to either honor or maybe connect with? Any questions that you might have? Just maybe start to think about that. And we're going to do our best to be incredibly intentional here and hopefully at home. Make sure that you feel safe to do this kind of work. I think making sure that you have a kind of backup plan, asking a spirit to go back to where it came from, lighting a candle. You can ask the intention of the spirit if you start to sense an energy that doesn't feel so good. Are your intentions good? It's a way to start. And if there's no response energetically or with any sign, are your intentions ill? And then if you receive some kind of energetic shift. I remember doing this kind of work, I had a kind of a haunting experience. And I remember after I said that, I had like a warm sensation, almost like a hand that I felt on my right leg, just kind of a weight. And then I lit a candle and asked the energy to go back to where it came from. And things went well, but I did have a shaman who was helping me with that. This was years, 10, 15 years ago or something like that. But just lighting our incense match and lighting our candle here. But if you have something like that, you're starting to sense that kind of energy, make sure you have candles lit or even some lights on. Just make sure that light is on, candles are lit, and you have a very strong, solid intention. and that you know what to do should some kind of energy that you don't want there present itself. So here we have our candle lit, and I'm going to set our intention here. Allow the flame to carry this intention through time and space to where and whenever you happen to be receiving this session. I would encourage you to light your own candle and set your own intention as we engage in this kind of work with the beyond. So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this distance Reiki session, this energy healing session, to help you connect with and honor those who have passed, to keep you safe and protected, and to only invite in benevolent energies that are in service of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self. With all the love and benevolence in the world. Okay. If you would like to clarify or specify this intention or even set your own, I now leave this flame open for you to do so, as long as it's in service of everyone's wisest self. Gorgeous. I would now like to begin the process of setting up an altar. So for this, one thing you can do, if you have a photograph of someone you are connecting with or would like to connect with, then you can invite that into this space using a photograph of a loved one. You can use a painting. You can write their name or write what you called them. This can be a nice way of beginning this process, inviting them into this space with all the benevolence in the world for you and them in this connection and for everyone else. So here's a picture of my mother. She's on a beach in Mexico in the 70s? 60s, 70s? 70s, I think. I love this photograph because there's a sailboat, and she's sort of the way that she's sitting with her arm up like that. It's sort of mimicking that sailboat. But I am calling in the energy of my mother for this, so that will be part of this altar for me. So we've done an altar for travel video, I believe, based on your requests on this channel. And for this, we are doing an altar for Samhain, for calling in and connecting with, summoning the spirits of those who have passed. If you are calling in the spirit of a goddess, you could do that at this time. If there is, the god of harvest and the crone energy, we can call these energies in at this time. I would suggest using either kind of oracle cards or tarot cards for calling in the energy that you would like to kind of connect with. I'm going to be using this. I think it's probably my favorite oracle deck. This is relatively new to me, and oh my god, I love it so much. Can you see it? Probably not very well. Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes. Stunning, very Art Nouveau, gorgeous artwork. Just, I love these cards, and I also feel very connected to them right off the bat, which is really nice. I don't often feel that way with new decks. It usually takes me a minute. But with these, they've almost exclusively replaced the tarot cards I've been using. I love the artwork. I love this like gold detailing. I love the energy of the cards, and I love the booklet that comes with it. Very, very simple, very simplified, and yeah, it's a fun little kind of almost like a master class. Sometimes the books I find to be a little bit convoluted, and with these I just feel incredibly connected right off the bat. So what I'm going to do on behalf of my and everyone else's wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in light and loving comfort, is I'm going to find the death card and see what's on either side of the death card for any guidance for this session. This is one way of pulling cards. You can connect with that kind of energy of what's before and after a card that you're asking about. If you'd like to ask the cards about a relationship, you can check what's on either side of the Lover's card. If you're asking about friendship, you can check out what's going on either side of the Three of Cups. Friendship or your community or anything like that. If you have something to do with addiction or impulsivity, you could check what's on either side of the Devil card. We're going to check what's on either side of the Death card. If there's something to do with travel, you could check what's on either side of the several cards actually, but the Chariot. Gorgeous. So now, I'm gonna look through and find our gorgeous Death card, the Scorpio. Are there any other Scorpios that are watching? Happy birthday. Sending you love. Sending you love, care. Hope you have a beautiful day or night, beautiful birthday. Whether it's to come or you've already had it. Where is our Death card? Making an altar with these as well can be really helpful. Taking the card that's associated with whatever you're working through can be helpful. I have this sneaky suspicion that the Death card is going to be right at the front. So here's our Death card. I'm going to bring you in. Okay. There's our Death card. And this is a lot about change, evolution, transformation. And it can be about loss. It can definitely be about loss. But this is that transformation, that moving to the other realm. So, in front of the Death card, it went like this. So in front was the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. And behind it, the Two of Pentacles. So both of these cards really are about delay. You might not have all the information yet. Okay, I'm going to take out the little booklet here, and we're going to share what Matt Hughes has here. But I think it's nice. We have two major arcana there. So the Hanged Man is an indication it is time to end old ways and release the restrictions that are holding you back in life. It's time for inaction and reflection in order for new opportunities to manifest. Inaction and reflection. So we can perhaps call in guidance from the spirits and souls of those who have passed for helping guide us to this new perspective, to this new way of conducting ourselves, to that energy of the death card is like shedding the skin of the old. And so really, it's not the time of action with this Hanged Man card. It's the time of planning and manifesting and kind of really connecting with how and what we're moving towards, how we're going to get there and what we are moving towards. You must be willing to sacrifice something to gain something new, like the snake shedding its skin. Sacrifice, release, new perspective, and surrender. So that's the energy here that we're working with when it comes to this, the death card, this release, this shift, this transformation. The death card, astrological correspondence, Scorpio is the harbinger of transformation. The reminder that you must shed what is old and familiar to become something new. And we want to become something new. Change is inevitable. This is a really large part of our previous session, right? Did I already upload that? I think so. You must break old habits and release that which is hindering you to make room for something greater. Change, endings, beginnings, transition. A crow or raven just flew by. Love it. Okay, and then we have the Two of Pentacles, Two of Coins, Two of Discs. Balance, renewal, adaptability, and change. I think also the Two of Discs, Coins, Pentacles can indicate a time of you don't have all the information, continue to gather that information. Balance, renewal, adaptability, and change. I love that because they're also supportive of this time. So here we go. Get ready because a big shift is coming. There's a big change coming with these cards. Do you feel ready for things to be shaken up? It's not a Tower card energy. It's more about you're at the helm and you're going to control this transformation. You're going to wriggle against the rocks and shed that skin. Shed the skin of your old ways. Are you ready? Because new things are going to happen and you're going to have to get comfortable with change. You're going to have to adapt. But there's going to be rebirth, renewal. You're going to create so much space for something new and beautiful. So we can call in the guidance of our spirits to help us with this kind of beautiful transformation, okay? So including those in your altar, that can be a really powerful part of this process. Crystals and stones as well can be great. So I would highly recommend clear quartz, no matter what kind of what kind of work that you're doing on this day, I would highly recommend clear quartz. This is a great one for amplifying positive energies. I've heard, that was what I was always taught. I've heard that some people claim that clear quartz is an energy amplifier regardless of the kind of energy that you're pulling in. So if you're feeling bad and you're wearing clear quartz, it'll amplify that. I was taught that it amplifies the positive energy, and I've never really experienced the opposite. So for me, I use this for that protective energy as well. So it does have a kind of positive amplifying energy from my perspective and from how I was taught. So I would definitely recommend using a clear quartz for this kind of work. Selenite would be great. You can use a desert rose, something like this. This is a great one for an altar. It has that quality and property of kind of that clarifying, clearing energy, but it's a very high vibrational stone while also being grounding. It doesn't get you too kind of caught up in the ether. It's grounding as well because it's from the desert. There's a real adaptability in this stone. There's beauty and change. It's a great reminder of that. I would definitely recommend Kambaba Jasper as part of your altar if you're doing this kind of work. Kambaba is a great stone. You can use it for transformation, support and transformation. You can use it for helping to balance the heart chakra. It's just a wonderful stone for this kind of connection and this kind of work. So we're going to move this through. Black stones, protection stones, are great for this. Black onyx, snowflake obsidian, black tourmaline is a great one. You can use, most black stones will be really protective here. I have an old fossil that's really great for this. But I think any black stone, just there for protection, is really helpful. Using a black candle. I don't happen to have one. As a few of you know, I've recently moved, so I don't have a lot of my equipment, my esoteric tools, but black candle would be great for this. A white candle is great for this, to connect with the purification, and a black candle for that protection. So, helping to protect and ground you while we do this work. Protect and ground you. Protect and ground. Protecting you, protecting you, protecting you, keeping you safe, safe and protected, safe and sound. Okay. You can also have a stone that's specifically for grounding you. Petrified wood is great for that. It can be a great way of grounding you. You can even take a piece of wood and use that for protection and grounding, for really keeping you here, tethered to the earthly realms, so that when you want to kind of cut off this connection, it'll be easy to do so, having that kind of grounded connection. Great. I'd say having some kind of spiritually aligned stones like pineapple quartz and amethyst. These can be great stones for opening up these channels. Opening up these channels. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Lovely. tons of other stones you could use. Rutilated quartz, you could use labradorite, smoky quartz, tons of other stones that you could use. I would say probably a rose quartz or a rhodonite would be great. We're just inviting in that real love and support in this space. So now we can call forth this energy. We want to say, with light and love, only inviting into this space, into my energy and into the awareness here, only inviting in those energies that are in support of my highest, wisest self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, in benevolence and peace. We now call in and summon the souls of those who have passed. When veil is thinnest on this day, I beckon forth my loved ones here to connect the deeper, if I may, through sorrow and through cheer. Guidance given and received, while veil is thinner than perceived. I take this chance to open up with greater courage than I thought, drinking deep of the wisdom cup, finding the answers I have sought. Return the life for just this night, and send through space this love and light. Then back again, another turn to the shadow and the mist. Await in patience your return next autumn with a kiss. Now, you can take an esoteric tool like a pendulum, and you can ask a question. Specifically, if you feel the energy of another spirit present in the space, and you can say, on behalf of my wisest, highest self, is there another energy present here? You can then start to ask a series of yes or no questions, either to yourself or aloud, and this can be part of that guidance that you're calling in. If you are unsure about how to use a pendulum, I really want to do a session on that, or at least a little video on that. So I'm sure you can find something online to help you with that until I have that session available. So now that hopefully you have engaged in that way that you would like, ask these questions. I'm not going to do that here on camera. I'm going to be doing that as I set up my own altar. And this is about you anyway. But connecting in that way with another, even if you just start to ask, are you present, and you're feeling an energy, maybe the candle starts to flicker, something like that. And then what I would suggest is to have a little sacred journal and start to do some free writing and see if any answers start to come to you. Free writing is just sort of, you can maybe start with a prompt, a question that you might have that you've been really mulling over. It just keeps playing itself out in your mind, and just put it down and try to kind of exercise that, whatever that idea is, just kind of cleanse it, get it out. And then see what comes up if, as you're writing, you start to notice that there's almost like, it feels like a divine inspiration that sometimes happens when we free write for long enough. See where that takes you. That can be a great way of doing this. So that's that foundation for that connection, connecting, right? And when we are ready to break that connection, you can just say, with all the love in the world, I send you back to whence you came, and I close this connection. That can really help you keep things safe. Gotta have boundaries even with the spirit world. So now we're just gonna kind of talk about honoring those who have passed. So in honoring those who have passed, we can use this altar, we can use this kind of connection. We can tap into the energy of someone who has passed, or tap into the energy of a saint or an historical figure that you would like to connect with. And for this, something that's helpful, keep that notepad out. Write a letter, a message to those who have passed. I think this is incredibly beneficial. I think this can be a beautiful way of asking a question, asking for guidance, writing that message to the individual, maybe even asking for a sign one way or the other. You know, what's a good example of that? Show me an owl if it's in service of my highest self to give an example that you've given me, leave my job, embark on a new relationship. And then just kind of write that message down, write the question down, however you'd like to engage in this kind of deeper connection with the other realm. And then I would suggest burning the message. Obviously be incredibly safe anytime you do any rituals. But this idea of, you know, honoring the souls who have passed with fire, hearth, that can be a beautiful way of connecting and honoring. And then eventually, as we move forward with this, celebrating those who have passed. But igniting that fire, if you have access to it in a safe way. Lighting a fire and then cast the message into the fire. This is a great way of just sending that message out into the universe, into the ethereal plane. And then you can just be open, journal, be open to messages and signs that you might see. This can show up in an impulse or a feeling, and that's why it's really important to do third eye balancing and work in the third eye to recognize what's your intuition and what's just you being in your head. Really important to kind of, you know, parse through that and see what's what. So then we can move on to that celebration, really celebrating the lives of those who have passed. Beautiful way of doing this is through music, dancing and playing music by firelight or candlelight. I think this is a great time and space to do that if you're watching this on Samhain. Really lovely way of connecting with that very primal energy. Dance, fire, music, this real connection to others. And that kind of jovial expression is what we often do on Halloween. We usually kind of skip the ritualistic aspect and we usually jump straight to the kind of revelry. So that's absolutely part of this. We can also invite in a few other elements that can help us connect with that as well. So to kind of finish it off, we really want to embrace this idea of music, dance, releasing and kind of shedding the skin of insecurity and fear, kind of getting out of your head and just using movement to express yourself and honor those who have passed. I know this sounds a little cheesy and stuff, but I really do think that you can allow that to happen and allow that movement to happen. Very often you can get caught in your head when you're doing that kind of thing. And if you take it off of yourself and take that energy off of yourself and put that energy into expression using the throat chakra, here opening up this channel of expression and using your body as the tool through which you express that whatever it is that you're trying to honor, the strength of one who has passed. Something like that where you just want to kind of physically embody whatever it might be. And this is okay. It's okay to feel silly. It's okay to be a little bit these rituals don't always have to be so serious. We can honor those who have passed and also recognize that that energy can be multidimensional. It doesn't always have to be a somber connection. We can connect with this way and that in a way that has been done, for hundreds of years, honoring the lives of those who have passed with high vibrational, positive music, dance, good food. Even setting aside a plate at the table for a loved one, for your beautiful feast tonight could be nice. Okay. So I really hope that you enjoyed this session. If you do choose to engage in your own kind of ritual, just know that I'm sending you loving, healing energy and that you are protected. Just trust that and trust that if you wanted to close off that connection, you have the ability to do so. I believe that as long as you are in alignment and as long as you are intentional, that you can call that, you can end that connection or call that connection. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative. You are safe. You are protected. You are safe. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you are receiving this session. And until I see you again, be so well. Can you come up on the pillow? She just wants cuddles. Come on, Mama. For today's video, I just wanted to do a little chakra activation. And just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But this is a new kind of video for me. I usually speak directly to the collective instead of the individual, so that always happens when I'm trying to do it like from your perspective. Maybe your perspective on things is a little clouded at the moment. I'm not sure if that resonates with you, but that's what I'm getting here. I love metallic sounds. There's like clicky clacky sounds. But it does have kind of a funny smell. I'm not gonna lie, when I first used it I was like, what is that? But amethyst is a really great spiritually aligned stone. Can help with clarity, mental fog, really helps us see soberly. Invite some more mindfulness and some of this energy work that we've been engaging in.